What's the biggest challenge that you see nonprofits facing?
Let's see. Panic feels like a big issue because when we take on the administrative side of the work, it also involves a leadership position. And so
Right.
I serve as the executive director type role for 4 or 5 of our clients as well. So there is a piece of that organizations don't know where the money is going to come from. And so then they tend to cut back or change where they're going or otherwise panic about what's going to happen rather than taking a step back and building a plan about where we're going to get, where we're going to go, what we need to do. And starting small, continuing forward. So I'm not at all disrespecting that mindset or that feeling because I totally get it. But it is an easy way for an organization to forget what their core mission is, to forget what, who we are and what we do, and not get distracted by a shiny object, piece of it. And that challenge not only applies to things like programming, but it also applies to a lot of the back office pieces. Like we should cancel this subscription to save some money, but actually that subscription is saving your organization significant time because otherwise you have to do this thing manually. And then where are you going to find the people to do that and pay them? And volunteers aren't always the answer for things like that. And so that is a big challenge, certainly pervasive throughout all sizes of organizations. But again, I totally get it because money feels hard to come by in a lot of circumstances. From an organizationally like back office organization, turnover is probably the biggest piece of it, where you have volunteers doing pieces of it, the volunteers leave, nobody wrote down what that volunteer was doing or how they were doing it. And so the next person comes in and says, okay, great, here's how I'm going to do that. And then they do it for a while. And the board chair says, oh, actually, I want you to do it this way. And the board chair has them do it this way. Then the board chair leaves and they didn't write down what they were doing or how they were directing the work. So turnover, especially in smaller organizations, if you haven't documented the processes and the systems that you're using, huge problem.